How's it going, YouTube? On today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to tie a very small, very simple, and very versatile fly, the zebra midge. It only takes a few materials. This fly works well any time of the year. I love it in the winter time. It imitates a midge, so they're hatching all year long, especially during winter. It's one of the only hatches that is around for the trout to eat in the wintertime. So they stay good and fat on a zebra midge. And like I said, there's only a couple materials that you're going to need. You're going to need a 2mm bead, tungsten. And then I'm choosing to use the ultra wire copper in small and ultra thread black. I'm using a size 16 scud hook made by Umpqua, and you can tie these anywhere from size 16 and smaller. So what you want to do is just start your wrap behind the bead, securing your thread, give it a few wraps, and then go ahead and cut off your excess thread. I like to wrap all the way to where it's a quarter of the way past the bend of the hook. It gives it that nice profile, and you want to try to keep your thread as even and smooth as possible. And then I'm just going to use some ultra wire, and I'm going to tie that in. Give it a few tight wraps right here just to secure it. Start working your way back up the shank toward the bead, as even as you possibly can. Work your way back up. You want it to have a nice taper. Gives it a more realistic presentation. It seems like a lot of wrapping, but it's necessary to get the good taper. And then I like to stack my thread right up behind that bead. It gives it a nice collar, and then you can just work your way down. You don't want to go too tight. You don't want to go too big on your loops. Like I said, this is a very simple fly. Back up. See how it's got that taper? It starts thick up toward the eye of the hook. As you work your way back down to the bend of the hook, it gets smaller. And then when you start wrapping your wire, you want to wrap it the opposite direction that you're wrapping your thread. And you want your spacing on your wire to be as even as possible. Just work your way up. Take a couple loose wraps just to secure it. Go ahead and tie your thread off, and then you should be able to just helicopter that copper right off of there. It should be a nice clean break. And then go ahead and build up your collar a little bit more. Like I said, this is a very simple tie. Very versatile. It's one of my favorite flies. Go ahead and give it a few wraps on with the whip finish. Cut your line, and there you have it, the zebra midge.